Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors book smarter and build confidence. And tonight, I cannot believe we are already at the end of this series. This is probably one of the best series that I've ever taught on. It's basically like an accumulation of everything Ash Knows Travel into a masterclass. And it's actually probably been one of the best things that I've done so far on this channel. Over the last few weeks, we've walked through the client experience from the beginning, and now we are at the end, all the way from that first interaction and booking to preparing your clients for travel, taking care of them throughout the trip, and now we're at the part where we're continuing that relationship when they come home. And tonight, that's exactly what we're doing. We're bringing it all together. Part 4 is really going to be about taking everything that we've learned throughout this entire masterclass and just turning it into a client experience that feels intentional, professional, and repeatable without making more work for yourself, right? That's the end goal always. So, honestly, because at the end of the day, we're not really just trying to book trips. If that's what you are trying to do as a travel agent, you're doing it wrong, okay? That's not our goal here. We are trying to build relationships that create loyal clients, generate referrals, reviews, and honestly just become the best travel advisor that our clients automatically think of when it comes time to travel again, right? So if you are live here, go ahead and comment in the chat. I want to say hello to you guys. Hello, everyone. I see you. Yeah. A little bit of a delay, but that's okay. But if you're here live, go ahead and comment hello in the chat if you haven't. And if you happen to catch this on a replay, I still want to know that you stopped by. So go ahead and comment replay underneath the video. And while you're at it, go ahead and give the video a like, okay? Show your girl some love. Like the video. If you think this is going to help your team, share the entire master series to your team. If If you go to ashknowstravel.com, I have the entire master series updated for you guys right at the top. So you can go ahead and share those links to your agents. And I appreciate every part of that. Yes. So let me go ahead and remove all of this stuff off the chat because I got something exciting to show you before I even start tonight. You ready for this? Here we go. Boom, September trainings. Your girl has put the trainings together, and we got some changes happening that we need to talk about. Okay. First of all, next month for September, it's going to be on Tuesdays. And the reason that is because there's 5 Tuesdays in a September and there's only 4 Thursdays in a September. We can't do that. I got to go live more than that, you know? So, next month will be Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central. We are covering some really amazing things that you guys always ask me for. So make sure you tune in, right? For the first 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a team building blueprint, kind of like how we did the masterclass for clients. Now we're going to do the masterclass for agents. I'm going to cover the basics. I mean, like the basics, like how do I become a platinum? How can I open accounts? Okay. I'm covering all of that. And then I'm going to do follow up and onboarding. So after you get the agent, we're going to talk about what you need to do, the first steps to make sure they're successful. So I'm very excited about that. On the 15th, I'm covering a training that you guys have asked me for over a year now. Stop working for free. We're going to talk about service fees, boundaries, and protecting your time. I'm going to cover that hard topic because I get asked about this all the time, right? And then on September 22nd, we have booked before the holidays, which is going to be the travel agent like sales plan. We're in quarter 4. This is the end of the year. You guys need to start planning for holiday travel. You guys need to start planning for spring break travel. You guys we got to plan out the rest of the year. So we're going to start talking about how you guys can get all of that booked before the holidays. Pretty excited about that. And then lastly, at the end of the month, the last Thursday, we're going to cover fam trips. All things fam trips. I'm going to tell you guys about them, how you guys can sign up for them, how to act when you're on them, what you can and can't do. I'm going to break it all. So I'm very, very excited. You guys can subscribe and all of that, but make sure you guys let your team know because this is a lot of good information. If you have agents that are looking to team build and they don't understand it, this is the trainings for them. If you have somebody who's constantly going, I always just do all this research and I'm not getting paid, this is going to be for them, right? Or if you're just trying to set up a sales plan for the next 4 months, this is it. So make sure you guys screenshot this, get everything written down because your girl will be live Tuesdays at 5 p.m. for the entire month of September. So I'm pretty excited about that. But let's go ahead and remove that off the screen as well. And yeah, let's dive into it, shall we? I'm very excited about tonight. Tonight is going to be the connecting part that you guys are looking for. I always get asked about how do you get referrals? How do you get reviews? That is exactly what we're going to be covering for tonight. So let's go ahead. Let's get started, shall we? All right, so let's talk about first where we left off at. For the first couple of weeks, I covered how to communicate with your clients, how to prepare them for travel, how to care for them during travel, and now we're at the welcome home part. Now, when we're going through this welcome home part, we're going to be doing a lot of different things. First, we're going to welcome them home. Then we're going to talk about how to get those reviews, how to get those referrals, and how to get them to book with you again. And honestly, I really am covering this because this is the part where you guys drop off. After the trip, you think your job is done and you just leave it alone. But honestly, the booking is not the finish line. The post-travel experience is what drives future growth. And you have to keep that kind of, keep it going. You can't just let it die off. So that is exactly what we're going to be covering for tonight. And that's exactly what I just said, the disappearing advisor. That's what you guys do. New advisors dedicate weeks to prospecting, qualifying, research, quoting, booking, all of that, right? They put so much energy into that when the client returns home, the advisor completely disappears. Or they send a generic like, hey, I hope you had a great trip. But you guys are missing an ample amount of opportunity to not only just get new bookings, but also to make sure that client returns again. And honestly, do not spend weeks doing this, okay? Because you guys spent weeks trying to earn that client, and then they come home and you're just like, all right, cool. Just let me know if you want to travel again. That is not the way that we get clients to rebook with us. So that's exactly why I'm covering this tonight. Now, let's talk about the process, okay? So we're going to go through it together as if we just had a client travel and they have now returned. So When they first return, we got to automatically send them a post-travel message. When we are asking them, not asking, sorry, when we're sending them that post-travel message, here are some things that you don't want to lead with. First of all, you don't want to ask them yet for any reviews. You don't want to ask them for any referrals, and you definitely do not want to ask them anything about rebooking. They just got home from spending thousands of dollars. They're tired. They're trying to get their life back together. You know how it is when we always say when you get back from vacation, you need a week from that. Okay, they need that too. So you need to make it feel like you actually genuinely care about them and how their experience went. So what do we lead with? Warm welcome, genuine excitement for the client's return, client focused, interest with them about the experience, right? And then have a very open conversation and let them know that they can truly just review on how that trip went, because a lot of what happens outside of us booking the travel is not always our control, right? Sometimes resorts have issues. Sometimes, like, I'm going to give you an example. The Hawaiian Village, okay? We were all just there for convention. I'm not going back. I'm probably not going to go back. And if I book anybody there, it's probably only going to be maybe in the Rainbow Tower. That's it. Maybe if they have another, the Kauai Tower is pretty nice too. But like there's just certain things that I experienced there that I will not let happen again, right? And it's important for us to open that space so our clients can share that with us, because it can affect where you send a client in the future, right? So first thing that we're going to do is just send them a nice welcome message. And when we send them that welcome message, we're going to start asking questions that open doors, because we don't want to just sell it. We got to act like, we genuinely care how that trip went. So, how was your trip is fine, but it usually gets a dead end response. It was great. So we need to open a question up for them to be able to open their responses. So, what was your absolute favorite part of the trip? How did you like the resort and the room category? Was there anything that you would have changed? What did you love that you want to, do again next time? Something like that can open an entire window of questions and lead through an entire conversation. That way it's at a relaxed setting and it's not just a how was your trip in general. We don't need to know that. We need to know every single part of the trip, so that way we can make sure that we're listening to them and adjusting any future travel that they have. Now, along with asking questions, we need to have that entire conversation, right? So we check in with them immediately upon return, show them that you remember and that you care. We're going to listen to them without steering the conversation to any kind of sales pitch. And then we're going to learn. We're going to learn their preferences, learn that they like, what they don't like, and then we document it. Now, I went over in part 3, which is right. I don't know what this is, but that's what it's supposed to be. Sorry, guys, I'm a little under the weather, but I went over in part 3 about a client's VIP profile, and I have those inside my CRM. And anything that I get in there, I put in there, or I put in one of their folders. If I get something in there that's like a red flag that I need to know about, I automatically just document that and save it. That way, whenever I talk to them again, or if I'm going to suggest a trip to them, I can go in there and just put that, get those details. I don't want to base that off of memory, because how many people do we talk to during a day, right? So it's easier for me to just go in there and document it. We had these conversations. I followed up with them. That way I can continue the path for that client. Now, considering that, what are we listening for when we start checking in? What are we paying attention to, right? So first thing, if they're talking about room categories, I love the upgraded room, the swim up. I love the adults only, the specialty dining, or the private chancers that we got. Here's some things that maybe I would change. Airport transfer was too long. That's a red flag for me. Let me pay attention to that, right? The resort felt too crowded. It was noisy, right? And if that's the thing, I need to know that, because next time I might not send clients there that are looking for like a private luxurious resort, right? Preferred a quieter beach, wanted more activities. And then lastly, the next times. Anytime that they say next time, this is what I'm listening for. We want to try a cruise next. Our anniversary is in May. That's we got to pay attention to. We want to bring the kids next year. Okay, well, we need to start planning that, right? Definitely going back to Europe, okay? These things happen naturally in a conversation. When I start opening up those windows, okay, what did you love? What did you want to change? What do you want to do next time? These are things that should happen naturally in the conversation that they're going to tell you, and you just need to note it. You don't have to act upon it right now. We don't have to discuss it. They just got back. That's totally okay. But I'm going to note anniversary in May. They want to go back to Europe. I'm going to note that somewhere. So then when I come through my deals, my list, whatever, I can go, oh, yeah, remember we had Patty. She wanted to go back to the cruise line for next year. Let me note that, right? That's what I'm trying to say, especially with the next coming months. If you guys are new to being a travel agent, we get some of the best deals from pretty much, I want to say, the beginning of like November to like Black Friday to Christmas until New Year's. We get really good deals for travel because that's when a lot of people book their travel for next year. They want to start paying on it. So a lot of people are getting their Christmas bonuses. They're planning for Christmas. A lot of people like to give the gift of travel for Christmas, right? So whatever that quarter we're in that we're planning for, we need to go ahead and listen to what they're already interested in so that we can go ahead and grab it for them if we see it, right? That's exactly what we're going to do. Now, like I said, make sure you update that client VIP profile after you get all that information. Like here's an example what I have. Sarah and Marcus, they loved this, their favorite experiences. They didn't love the transfer, and they're interested in Greece for their 10-year anniversary. That is what I mean when I say put in notes. I want to show it to you directly. That's exactly what I would do. I would put in there exactly what I booked for them. And I have little spots inside my Google Sheets where I put this information. That way I can already know what Sarah and Marcus want to do for their next anniversary. I know what I'm talking about, right? And I don't try to collect unnecessary personal data. I don't collect anything. I don't put any of my numbers or confirmations into my CRM for safety reasons. I have that in a secure folder. But I do like to write down their preferences. So if I ever get into contact with them, I can have that Google Sheet on my phone, pull it up, make notes, talk, plan, right? This is exactly what we want to do. Now, work home workflow. Wow. Welcome home workflow. That's a whole mouthful right there. Okay. So let's talk about how this works out. So the client returns, we send them a welcome message, we start asking them questions about their experience, we listen, we learn, and then we update the profile. That's all you need to do right now. That's the first part of it, okay? Now, I would suggest if you're watching this and you don't have a workflow like welcome home message set up, set it up. Set a welcome home message automatically. If you have like Boomerang for Gmail, or you can schedule your Gmail automatically and through like sending out emails, schedule a welcome home email that they can get upon return so you don't have to remember to send it out. Draft it, schedule it, automatically get it ready to go. Like I got an example for you. I have clients that are leaving on September 1st and they're coming back on September 7th. Okay. I already have scheduled a couple of days before, making sure that they got the Vax thing because Vax never sends it. So I make sure one more time, here's your information, right? Halfway through, I have an email going out. How's it going? Let me know. And then at the end, right when they come home, I have another email scheduled as a welcome home. How was your experience? Through the entire thing. Now, can I update that and change it? Yes, but I don't have to remember to do that because I scheduled it as soon as the trip got close enough for me to be able to schedule that out. That's what I suggest doing. That way you are prepared, you are professional, and you are scheduled. So you don't have to think anything outside of that. Now, continuing. That is the end of the first part of it. That's all we're doing. I don't want you to do anything else other than that. You can't sell to people who just got back unless they're already planning to book again. You got to ease into it and you got to tread carefully because they just spent thousands of dollars, right? So continue the relationship, give them space to share their experience, identify what they liked and don't like, and then save the details. Now, the next one, okay, this is going to be in the part 2. And then this part is where we're going to pay attention. Okay. We're going to take what they just said, and now we're going to start opening the door to reviews and referrals. So continuing on, shall we? Turn clients into advocates. That's what we need them to do. We need them to stop hoping people talk about your business and make it easy for them to do so. That's exactly what we want to do. And what better people to use for that than the people that have already booked through you? Yes, if they've already booked the travel through you, you've already done all the hard work. They've already taken the trip. Now let's turn them into advocates to help you guys get future business. Yes. All right. So here's the thing. A lot of you guys will come to me and you'll be like, oh, well, they didn't give me a review. I don't know how to ask for a review. And that's why I cover this part, because a lot of you are scared to ask for a review. But the reality is, they already gave you one. They already gave you one. That from that first conversation that we just had, they told you what they liked about the experience, what they didn't like, what they would have changed, how it went, blah, 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 right? They already gave it to you. For example, this one right here. Oh my God, we had the best time. Thank you so much for everything. Your typical response would be, oh, I'm so glad, right? But this is a trigger. This is a trigger right here. Clients voluntarily express delight every single day. Don't let the conversation end with the simple, you're welcome. Common unprompted signals. The resort was perfect for us. Thank you for making everything so easy. You're an absolute lifesaver. Okay. They may have already given the review in the conversation. You don't even realize it, but it's already happening. It's already happening there, right? So what do we do with that? What do we do when they do that? We got to find the happy moment. Whenever that happy moment is, it's not going to all happen the same, but I want you to pay attention to it as it comes. Timing matters. Learn how to recognize natural windows of excitement when satisfaction is at its peak. Okay. So while I'm talking to the client, right, we already finished it. We get into the end of the conversation. She starts telling me about how incredible the trip was. Okay. It exceeded her expectations. It was the best trip she ever taken in her life. Trigger number one. She starts sharing photos with me. She's like, look at what we did here. This is some examples, right? Or if you had a problem while you guys were traveling and I was able to solve it, that's another trigger right there. Or even just in the welcome home in general, while we're having that conversation, she's given that positive reflection. That is also kind of a trigger for me. Okay. Ask while the experience is fresh. Don't wait 2 weeks in there. Ask them when we're in the moment while we're having these conversations, right? So we're continuing, we're still talking about everything. And now I'm getting to the point where she's praising everything and she's like, oh, this is great. And it can be in text messages, it can't be over the phone, doesn't matter. It can't even be in emails. That's totally fine. But all I need you to do is to acknowledge it, respond genuinely. No, I'm very happy that that went well for you. I'm glad it turned out that way. Now I want you to ask. Don't be weird about it. Don't push it. Like, hey, if you have a minute, would you mind leaving me a quick review? And then, of course, they're going to say yes, because why would they say no, right? And then send them a link. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes I will put them in my welcome home communication like message, not like the text, but in the emails. I will drop that review link in there from a agent profiler. I'll put it in there. But I only do that if I made sure that the place, like the experiences was well. I'm not going to go and like put my, reference out there if I think that the situation went bad. I'm just not going to do that, right? So it really depends on how early I put it in there. But if I don't put it in there naturally, this is how I do it. I just start having that conversation. They're happy about what happened. Let's get your review while we're already happy, right? Now, what makes a useful review? Because this is very, very important that we need to talk about. When you're having these conversations, we don't want them to leave a generic review. What I tell them is I want you to leave a review of what you experienced, how your trip went, if there were any issues or anything like that. Like I want like a full experience when I tell them, leave me a review. So here's an example. We don't want great agent 5 stars. We want Ash handled every single detail of our honeymoon. When our flight got delayed, she rebooked our transfer before we even landed. We felt completely taken care of. Okay. That is a review that we want. We do not want great agent 5 stars. We don't want that, right? So when I ask for a review, I let them know, please review your entire experience. Review everything that happened. Let them know how I handled it, right? Because that is useful for people that are looking to book with you, not great agent 5 stars. Can we agree with that? Yeah. So never write the review for your client, okay? Don't ever pressure them. Just make it super easy and let their voice just genuinely shine through. Now, sometimes I will be honest with you, like on my website, I can leave client reviews. And sometimes I will go in there and just snag what they already put and I'll just kind of put it in there. And then, I don't put their names directly so they can't see it. But sometimes if the review is already presenting itself and then she already gave it to me manually, I will put it in certain places or I screenshot it and I use those reviews as well because it's still a review, right? The review doesn't have to be in the direct form of agent profiler or directly on my website. Like a review is a review. So if it's in a good setting where like if she put something like this in a text message, I'm going to screenshot that and be like, look at my client. Like that building yourself up in general, that's useful for a review, right? Exactly how I would do it. Now, don't let this review die in your inbox because this is what you guys do. And that's exactly what I mean. One client review, website testimonial. There you go. I said I do this. This is what I do. Social media, post that on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Sales proposals. Sometimes I put them at the bottom inside of there. Like if a client leaves a review, I put it at the bottom of it. Put it in your little flyer. Put it in the bottom of your email, right? And then in general, I like to do our agent profiler. I love to get them to put the reviews in there because it just helps, right? Like the more reviews we get and the more leads we get, the better the agent profiler works. So I always make sure that's where we start with. I give them the review for agent profiler, then I will copy that review and I will paste it everywhere else, right? Always, of course, obtain permission before publicly sharing. I don't really put my clients' names in there. Like I might put their first name, but sometimes I give them a nickname if I share it anywhere else. But I don't ever do anything like that unless I get full permission of sharing that from the client. All right. Now, once they post that review on my advisor profile, that is public information. So I'm going to share it everywhere I can. All right. So don't let it die in your inbox. Use it everywhere. It's a review. It's for your business, right? If you go like, I don't know, let's just say, what kind of company could I think of? Any of the companies in general, they got reviews all over their pages. They got reviews in their sitting on their like Facebook pages in general. Like there's reviews everywhere, right? And when you're searching to go book with someone or to buy something, where are you going? You're going to the reviews. That's why we need them. It's so important. Now, let's talk referrals, the next part. All right. This can be rough. This can be rough because if you don't approach it correctly, you literally are putting your client on the spot. So we don't ever want to say, do you know anybody who needs a travel agent? Like that is like the worst thing that you could ever do. Okay. Now, instead, what we're looking for is for them to naturally bring it up in a conversation. Oh my God, who booked your trip? It looked amazing. That's the kind of referrals that we want because they can play that off of experience, not with somebody who's just looking for a travel agent. Now, keeping this in mind, how easy is it for your client to share you? That's the genuine question. If a client were to book a trip with you right now, they did everything, they came back, and now they want to share you with other people, how easy is for that client to share you? Do you make it super easy? Do you make it where they have to look for a bunch of things? Can someone refer you in 10 seconds? Okay. Now, the reason I say this is because this is the hardest part of the referral. This right here. It's not that people are not telling other people about you, but they can't just tell people about you. They have to have something to share along with it. So you have to make it very, very accessible for somebody to be able to grab. Now, when it comes to this, when I'm putting in the referrals, right, I make it to where they can just grab one of my simple digital assets that I have that they can forward instantly. So I'm going to tell you how I do it. Okay. First, digital contact card. I have, oh my God, I forgot what I have. I have the one for the wallet. I just forgot the name of it. Oh my God, what is it? That's going to bother me. Let's see. Somebody help. What is it called? Oh, Popple. Dang, that was going to bother me. I had to go look that all up while we're in the middle of this live. I don't even care. I'm going to go look it up real quick. Popple. I use Popple because it is my best friend. Anytime I communicate with somebody, even if I'm not meeting them, when I first meet with them, I send them my Popple. The reason I do that is because it is a one-tap contact card. My Popple is fully filled out. It has all of my link tree, my website, everything is tacked into that. That way the client can forward on to the next person. Okay. Now, inside of that, if you don't want to do your contact card, you can do other things, right? Your direct inquiry link, your business social handle, or just a travel resource that you have in general, whatever that is, okay? Don't give them 6 links to share. Just pick one clear path so that they never have to explain how to reach you. That's the easiest thing that I can tell you. If they have to explain how to get in contact with you, it's going to make it really, really hard for clients to be able to come in there and just boom, let's just max it out, right? That is probably the hardest part when it comes to referrals is you guys don't have all of your stuff in order, so they don't know what to share. So you need to pick one thing, constantly share that. That way they have the ability to refer you to other people. How many of you guys have gotten that together? Because that one right there, that's deep. A lot of you guys don't have that part together. All right. But let's talk about how we do this. The advocate formula. Okay. So first, we deliver an amazing experience. They've had a great time. They're having thoughts about traveling again. Maybe they're leaving you a review. And now we need to start paying attention. Okay. Recognize the happy moment of satisfaction is voluntary expressed. Acknowledge and ask, link naturally without pressuring. Make it easy, provide direct links and frictionless 10-second sharing assets. Okay. The best referral strategy starts before you ever ask for the referral. It starts with the experience that you deliver. So based off of that experience, now we've gotten the review in there, and then we're going to just drop in there for the referral, right? We have to make it easy. I'm not going to go in there and tell you to ask them for referrals. We're not going to do that, okay? But we want to have everything ready. So when it comes time for them to do the referrals, because if you have how many times have you ever been in a situation where you're like, oh yeah, I just did this, and this. Let me tell you about this girl that just, the other day I was on the phone and I found this new product and it was great. Oh, let me tell you about this product, right? Okay, I have to be able to go in there and grab that product very quickly and refer it. That happens naturally after a good experience or a good review, etc., right? So we need to have all of that ready. How do we have that ready? I call that the Happy Client Kit. That's a cute name for it. Happy Client Kit, which is technically my welcome home kit, but we got that direct review link ready to copy. We got an easy 10-second contact share asset. We got our welcome message home template. We got a review quest message template, and then the referral share wording template. Okay. A review is valuable, a referral is valuable, but don't forget the client that you already have, right? So the next thing that we're going to talk about is making them come back. But I want you guys to have this implemented already. Even if you don't have clients yet, that's okay. Build your happy client kit or your welcome home kit, however that is. That way, when the time comes, you don't have to worry about putting all that stuff together. This is something that you can implement today. If you wanted to stop whatever you're doing at the end of this and go do something, this is it right here. This is a great thing to have in place because, like for me, for example, I have my welcome home happy client kit. I just told you I have a client leaving on September 1st, coming back on the 7th. That's exactly what's inside there. Inside their welcome home email, I have the beginning process. I have the contact share asset. I have the welcome home message, right? And in between that, when we're having conversations, I have the referral sharing. If I want to ask them for a referral, I have that worded out to where it's not weird. Talk to ChatGPT, however you want to word it. But I have it all set up in place. That way, when it's time to have these conversations, I'm prepared. I'm ready to go. All right. So now, I know I didn't really cover how to ask for a referral, so I'm going to touch on that real lightly because there's not one real way to just ask for a referral. And you don't even naturally have to ask for it. You can just let them know, well, hey, if you ever have anybody in the future that's looking forward to book, here's my information. Feel free to share it. That works way better than, do you know anybody that needs a travel agent? Like, we don't want to be weird about it, right? But fit it into the conversation naturally. If it's near the end of the conversation and that welcome home, it's a good time to put it in there, okay? Now, when it comes to having these conversations, all right, I have these in the first couple of days upon returning. That way it's not like relationship is ending. I want it to continue. So I make sure I welcome them home. I get the reviews, how did it go? And then, hey, if you guys, if you have anybody else that's looking to travel, please let them know that I'm open for bookings. Okay. Something natural like that works perfectly. But that's not the end of it. That's not where it stops. We want them to book again. The biggest thing that I'm telling you, listen to me, if you get on to the right client and they constantly are rebooking and they're traveling, you don't need any other clients. You don't have to have 10, 20, 30, 40 clients. You just need about good 5 or 6 of them that are constantly rebooking, and they could pay for your whole entire year. I've seen it happen plenty of times. So it really, really depends on how you handle it when they return. That's going to help set this up for the future. So let's just say in this moment, for our example, we went ahead and did all this. We got our referral, we got a review, and now we need to start talking about the next trip, right? We need to continue on the conversation. We need to continue with the relationship. And we want to, what? Make them want to come back. That's what we want. We want them to come back. We want to build a repeating client system. That way, we already have clients that are booking with us again instead of constantly finding new clients, right? Even if that client comes from another referral of my client, I'm still not starting at the beginning because I didn't have to search for that client, right? So I like it to where I can turn one booking into 5. And I do that. I'm going to give you an example how I did this in the past. One time I posted a flyer for Royal Caribbean. A lady saw it on TikTok. She booked a cruise with me. And then I booked 2 other cruises that were also going with her, right? I had a great client experience. She left a review. She referred me to a couple of her cousins. I booked those trips. And guess what? Now it's time for them to take their annual cruise that they take with their family. She booked with me again. From that one booking on TikTok from a flyer, I now have about 6 or 7 bookings just from one client. And how did I do that? I made them want to come back. That's it. That's the right there. That's the key. Okay. So let's talk about that part. You already did the hard part. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You guys constantly are going out there looking for a new client, when you already have them. You already did the hard part. Even if they didn't book with you, okay? Even if they didn't get to that part, they're still a valuable asset. That's not the end of the story. It doesn't have to be, right? Because let's think about everything that we required just to get to that one booking. We had to get their attention. We had to build trust with them. We had to complete the discovery, and we had to filter everything out, research it, present it, hope for the best, book it, prepare them. They traveled, right? We did all of this work, but you guys are forgetting that your past clients list is an asset. That's part of our business. That is a tangible asset that we have. And I never, never, never want you guys to treat a past client like a stranger. They already know how you operate. They already know how it works. So you can skip all of that extra work and just get in there and get the booking. So stop getting your clients to where they don't come back to you. Like, keep it going, keep conversation. If they traveled once, they're going to travel again. We just got to figure out when. That's it. All right. Yeah. Continuing. Stay relevant, not relentless, please. Do not start bothering them all the time. Ready for another vacation? Want me to send you a quote? Nothing like that. You have to be very mindful about how you approach this. It has to feel personal, useful, and thoughtful. If I took notes at the beginning of my welcome home conversation that they have a milestone or an anniversary coming up, I need to talk to them about that. If they had maybe an idea about going to Europe for next year and it's approaching that time, I need to give them some details about Europe that they might be interested in. If they just in general talk about, hey, I really want to go on another cruise. Hey, I just want you to know for Black Friday, they're dropping all the cruises to where it's only, I think Princess one time did $1 deposit for cruises for Black Friday. That was Princess Cruises. Yeah. Like if that was something they're interested in, hey, I just want you guys to know for Black Friday, they're doing $1 deposit. So you might want to lock into that. Right. But the golden rule here is to stay relevant, share new information, bring them into the loop. You've got their email, share the newsletters with them, show them details of things that they actually want to book, because the goal is simple. Avoid completely disappearing from their world. That's the main goal. because a lot of us do that. We book clients, we welcome them home, they got everything out of it, and then we hop off. But we don't want them to disappear from our world. We want them to remember us always when it comes time to travel. So, best way to do that, my favorite, most popular way of doing that, is sending a message just like this. This made me think of you. I love this one. This has gotten me a lot of bookings because it's personal. Like I've thought about you. Here's one of the trips that I was thinking about planning. Here it is, right? Documented client profile. What did I note? It's quiet luxury. They like it. They don't like parties. They like to, their anniversary is in October and their dream trip is the Maldives. Okay, we know all of this now. Instead of sending them, hey, do you want a vacation? We're going to send them, hey, I remember that, you had your anniversary coming in October. So I just wanted to share you this quick trip that I had, planning out. And I think it would be a really good fit for you. Way better. All right. This is continuing the conversation. And even if they don't book it, it's still going to get them back into your radar and going, oh, yeah, that's right. We wanted to book a trip, right? That's the most important thing that I want you guys to kind of keep in mind when we're doing that. That's our goal. I understand that I might not get a booking from this, but I'm still on their radar. And that's perfect because they're eventually going to want to travel, right? And how do we do that? We listen for future trip clues. If we know those milestones are coming up, the anniversaries, or some type of new experience, I automatically pull for those in order for me to stay relevant in their world because they can always come back later and they're ready to book. I already have it all updated and I can already plan on what they plan on, booking in general, right? That's exactly how I do that. And I get that from my welcome home message. I started asking them about their future trips or what they would like to do differently next time. That way, I'm already planning it for the next trip that they're going to come in for. All right. So, how do we do this? We have two ways. So we have a signature framework and a follow-up rhythm. So this first one is going to show you kind of like the pathway, right? We welcome them home, we get the reviews, we get their feedback, whatever. We stay connected with them. We offer occasional high-value touch points, personal milestones, trips coming up, etc. And the really good ones, what I really like is if we send them like happy birthday emails, yeah, or anniversary emails. I like doing those. Just a simple like, hey, I remember you. Don't forget about me. Here I am, right? And then, of course, reconnecting. Reach out when the timing aligns or with any of their past documented cues, just kind of pay attention to them. And then lastly, recommend. Present them, you don't have to do a full-on mock booking, but give them an idea designed specifically for them. That way they can still see the value of having you as an agent when it comes to booking their travel. That's exactly what I want. The goal is to not be forgotten. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to they might not book today, they might not book tomorrow, but they will not forget that I am their travel agent. Yeah. Now, how do we do this with the return? Okay. We remember what they like, we reconnect with them, we recommend it, and then when we're recommending it, we make sure that they're able to rebook it, okay? Every time you guys are talking to them, even if I send them something and they're like, yeah, I like that, but I'm looking to go maybe in November. I'm paying attention. Okay, so they want to plan a trip in November. Let me go back out there and do a little bit different research, right? But I'm going to tell you something that kind of works very well. I always tell you guys that it's important to niche down. And this is why right here. This is the very important part for niching down. All of my clients typically book the same trips. We're all either going to resorts or we're all either going on cruises. Like it's kind of the same thing. So when I'm sending this out to them, I can tailor that trip to more than one person. And if I need to adjust it a little bit, maybe change up the flights, whatever that is, that's fine too. But in general, since I'm always booking around the same things, it makes it very easy for me to kind of recommend stuff to them through newsletters, text messages, etc., because they're all kind of around the same, like adults only kind of thing, right? If you are a person that doesn't do that, then you are going to kind of have to make it to where it's personal for each person, when it comes to sending out quotes, etc. So keep that in mind. But you always want to present some type of value on why they should rebook with you or how they can rebook with you, making it to where when they return, it's seamless, familiar, They've already done this before, and make it as easy as possible, right? And it should get easier every single time you're talking to them. Document what they're saying, listen to what they're how they're approaching it, like figure out what their next trips are, because they might not even have it in mind. But if you present them what the correct information that they're looking for, you can easily score a booking, right? You've already done all the hard work of getting the client. So why are we not turning that one booking into 5? So how do we do that? Okay. First of all, they got to have a great experience. If they didn't have a good experience, you can just count that out right there. That review is going to help you get more bookings because it's a review of your services. So posting that review is a great way to get more bookings. Or a direct referral. They've already done all of the hard work of going through the experience with you, right? Now they can refer you to other people. And also repeat bookings, and then also just future opportunities in general. That's how you take one great client and you can turn it into 5 different bookings. That's it right there. I just have it all laid out for you. You're not begging them, you're not spamming them, you're not treating them like a transaction, okay? All we're doing is presenting them with the best experience possible, and they will do all of the hard lifting for us. I'm going to give you an example. A while back, there was a lady that one of the agents, she was doing a group cruise, and she had already done a couple of cruises for this lady. And now the lady was doing a group cruise, and she was like, I already set everything up for her to do the group cruise. Now she has to bring in the clients for the cruise, right? She already did all the heavy lifting. She already did a couple of cruises with the lady. They know how they work with each other. It's familiar for her. So then she set up the group cruise for the client to bring in her friends, right? That's 5, 6, 7, 8 bookings just from one booking. We all have these potentials, okay? But what happens is that you guys cut yourself off as soon as you get home. Okay, I did all the hard work. Bye. Have a great day. That's not how this works. Okay. I have a client that was a referral directly from an agent back in 2023. And it was the beginning of 2023. I booked their first cruise because they were referred to me by an old agent of mine. That first cruise turned into a repeat cruise because they liked the cruise so much. They went on the exact same cruise like 4 months later, but they brought their kids. So that was another booking. And then their daughter needed to go to Japan. So I booked that trip for them. Then they wanted to go on another cruise out of Miami. I booked that one for their entire family, and I booked all of their flights. I got paid to book the flights. Like, do you see where I'm going with this? Okay. And that all happened because I had a good experience with that client on his cruise. He loved that cruise so much, he took it twice, right? And that direct referral came from an experience that I had with an agent. She didn't want to be a travel agent anymore, but she knew I knew what I was doing. So who else would she refer them to other than me, right? Do you see how this plays along? Giving everybody a great experience is what's going to help turn that one booking into 5, right? So we are now at the complete blueprint, the complete experience blueprint, okay? We have literally went over the entire process of how you guys can get new agents, get new clients. Your girl's tired, okay? I have been sick since Friday. I'm out of it. We're great. Anyways, so we first start with the discover process. We're getting into booking, we're communicating, preparing. It's an entire thing. And how many of you guys before this knew it was an entire thing? I think a lot of us, when we first start out, we're so focused on getting bookings that we forget that we have to actually give them an experience. We didn't sign up just to get bookings. We signed up to be able to build income, right? And this type of income can be like generational. It can be something that you guys can pull down further because they're constantly rebooking with you. But if you can't do that, if you're not building relationships, if you're just trying to get the booking, you're going to get some bookings. Absolutely. Without a doubt, you're eventually going to get some bookings. But if you don't build that relationship, you're going to find yourself constantly looking for new bookings. And if you find yourself doing that, I want you to stop today and go touch back with those clients that you already have. Go just check up on them. How are you doing? How's life going? Right? Was last time you traveled? Right? Connect with these people because that's why they're booking with you. They're not booking with you because you got the best deals, you got this, you got that. They're booking with you because they genuinely need help with their travel. Go help them. You can't just stop helping them because the trip ended. You got to keep going. All right? Now, done preaching. Okay, so this is, of course, the finale for the masterclass. You guys kind of get the rough idea of what we're going through, right? What we're trying to do here. We want to create the experience. We want to build a system so we don't have to create that experience based off of memory. And then we want to keep the relationship, right? We want to keep going. We want them to keep booking, right? So we are at the part now where you guys completed this. You guys did it. If you have done any part of this type of implementation of any of these 3 weeks, 4 weeks that we've been through, you guys are a little bit further into being a successful travel agent. Every little part of this is what makes the difference. Now, when you have this full system going, you're going to see the difference. I just had somebody comment the other day, watching your first master class got me my first lead. And then the other one was like, now I'm rewatching the second one so I can know how to handle the booking. Like, I know you guys are watching this and I know you guys are learning from it. So I really, really love that. And I hope we can do the same when it comes to team building next week. Yeah. But this is all you have to do. It may seem like a lot at first, but it should become natural to you at some point because you're constantly repeating the same process over and over and over. And you don't need to know everything. You just need a system that you can repeat, something that you can rely on. That way, your brain isn't trying to struggle with all of the extra stuff that comes in between that, right? So don't just book the trip, create the experience. That was the entire point of this masterclass, is creating the best experience for your client. Because clients may forget the quote you sent. They may forget that one little issue that happened on the trip, or they may forget the best food they ever had while they were there. But I'm going to tell you something. They will always remember how it felt to work with you. They will. They will always remember it, and what they do with you after is going to be based off of how you handled every situation that they went through. That's it. I promise you. All right. So I have the last part of the master book for you. I will put it in the chat real quick. It's also always in the description. You guys can grab it from there. So let me go over here real quick. And this is it right here, but there are two parts of it. So this is the first one. And if you go to the end of the first one, right here, it has the link to 3 and 4. So if you have this one, that's okay. Okay. And then this one is the third and fourth because the book is too big. It's just the Canva said, this is too many images. We can't do this. And I said, fine, I'll break it down to 2 parts for you guys. So I will put this one in the chat. If you want this, go ahead and comment experience for me. And if you want it after the chat, like after the live, go ahead and comment experience underneath the video so I can make sure that you have it. Now, on top of that, like I was telling you guys, if you ever forget where we're at and you want to come back to it, if you go to ashknowstravel.com, click on training videos and then click on binge worthy playlist. Yeah, we need those. Is right here. The client experience blueprint. I have it all right here for you. I have the masterclass book, playbook is in here. I have the entire 4-part series. This will update automatically now that we're doing part 4. So you guys can go back in here and watch it all over. And it's all inside my website. And I even have the rest of them. I have all of the playlists that I've ever have. I have 12 of them total. You guys can easily come back here and just look at all of this here. But I put this in here. That way you guys can just come back to it when you're ready in case you missed a couple of the dates. You just click on it and it will automatically populate over to YouTube. All right. But back to our little client experience part 3, 4 book. Okay. Let me get rid of this. Go away. There we go. All right. So we are in part 4. So we got to come over here because part 4 starts here. And I will share it to make it bigger so we can see it. All right. So in this part, I'm basically just going over everything that we've covered for this evening. So you guys can feel free to check that out. But basically, how it works, I have the whole entire thing. What could you ask them? I mean, I got all of it done for you. That way you're not trying to figure this out on your own. That's basically what I was doing here. So I'm going to help you write your welcome home message. You're going to go through the entire thing. What did I learn about the trip, the information that you're trying to get, etc. The gift, the reviews. I did also the referrals. I did everything in here. My happy client kit, what should I remember? Don't disappear. Don't annoy them either. Okay. And then the client complete experience blueprint. That's what it is right here. All right. So I have all of that set up for you guys. So you definitely can check that out. And it just kind of completes the workbook that we have been working on. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to hang out here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I will answer them. And then, of course, I will see you guys back on, where's it at? Not that one. I will see you guys back in September, on September 1st, to be exact, on the first Tuesday, where we're going to be going over team building blueprint, the basics. So if you are interested in team building, if you are new, of course, this is going to be evolution archer based. So if you're outside of that, I can't really help you. But I'm pretty excited about this because I'm going to break it down. Like I'm going to do like team building for like newbies is how I'm going to do it. We're going to talk about every single part of team building so that when you guys are ready to do it, you will start with a very clear and open mind on how it works. That's my whole goal. So thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight. I appreciate you all. I'm going to hang out in the chat. I don't know if you guys really have any questions. I can't see the chat right now. So I'll check it out. But other than that, I will see you guys back on Tuesday, okay, September 1st, where we'll be doing team building blueprint. Before you guys hop off, make sure you like this video on the way out, share your comments, and make sure you share this with your team so they can all have the best client experience. That way they get repeat bookings and then you get repeat commissions. I'm just saying, okay? The more you train your agents, the more money that they're going to make. So make sure they're getting the proper trainings like one of these. All right? So thank you guys so much for hopping on. I'll be here in the chat if you need me. If not, I will see you back on Tuesday. Make sure you like this video and share it with your team, please. And you all have a beautiful, beautiful evening.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go. Hey. Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do